Ms. Pena, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On January 24th, 2025, the officer observed the defendant's vehicle in front, following a vehicle very closely at the 2800 block of Center Street, Harris County, Texas. An NCIC search showed an unconfirmed insurance status with no match found within the last 45 days. The traffic stop was then conducted, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle, and the officer observed red bloodshot eyes, strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and the defendant stated she got off work, smoked marijuana, and went to a local bar where she had one beer. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant stated her level of intoxication would rank 4 on a scale of 1 to 10, and the defendant was read the DIC, and she consented to breath. The results were 0.053 and 0.056. The defendant then refused a DRE evaluation, and a consensual blood draw was completed.
Okay. So how many other DWIs does she have?
It was just one prior in 2022, Your Honor.
NCIC?
I ran it, Your Honor. This only the one prior.
The other PCS that was right afterwards, right? Oh, so they were both, okay.
They were both dismissed, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Oh, have you run her license?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming anything, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. Do you understand? Lawyer today, ma'am? Okay, I'll have you fill out an application. I'll take a look at it and see whether you qualify, and I'll appoint your lawyer today. If you don't have a license, don't drive. If you don't have insurance, don't drive. Above all else, don't consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You understand? Okay, please.
Judge, when you get the chance, can you send that transfer order to court too?
Right, Judge, I have 2 Spanish arraignments. Go ahead and send it to you. The first one is page 8, Hernandez, Octaviano.
You are Octaviano Hernandez.
Octaviano Hernandez.
Octaviano Hernandez.
You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
De $2,000.
You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
Y él será
You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir. On January 24th,
el 24 de
2025,
enero de 2025.
the officer was
los
patrolling
oficiales fueron
the
patrullando
5900 block
la cuadra
of Glenmont and observed the defendant's vehicle.
5900 de Clermont y
The officer
observaron
ran the
el vehículo del
license plate
acusado,
through NCIC
recorrió las placas
and observed the
de la
registration to be
y observó
expired
la registración
as of
que
May
había vencido
2024.
desde mayo del
A
24
traffic stop was initiated,
se inició
and the
un
officer
alto,
made contact
y
with the
el oficial
defendant,
hizo
the driver, and
contacto
sole
con el
occupant of
acusado.
the vehicle. The officer
El conductor
observed
y el
a
único
strong
ocupante
odor of
del
an
vehículo
alcoholic beverage,
una fuerte
red
olor
eyes,
de una
slurred
bebida
speech,
alcohólica, los
and
ojos
poor balance.
rojizos y el habla afectado,
The defendant
falta de
admitted to
equilibrio.
drinking
El
5 12-ounce cans of Budweiser beer, but then changed it to 2 cans. The defendant stated he started drinking at a friend's house, stopped drinking just now. Standard field sobriety tests were administered, HGN 4 out of 6, and during the HGN, the defendant continued to move his head and refused to follow directions. Leg stand, and the walk and turn was refused after 2 out of 8 clues were found. The defendant was read the DIC and refused breath. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Are you guys?
No, Your Honor.
License?
No license on file.
Okay. Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to find that there's enough probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, and prescribed controlled medication. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, Mr. Hernandez, you are also not allowed to drive. You will be signing a promise with me today that you are not to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If I find that you drive, I'm going to put you in jail. If you are not in this country with permission and you go to jail for anything more than 4 hours, it's very possible that immigration puts a detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until this case is over with and then shipped off to immigration. This is the only warning that you're going to get from me. Take it what you will. Every single day, I see dozens of persons in the jail with an immigration detainer. Do not make this mistake.
No cometa ese error.
Do you have a lawyer today?
Un abogado, hoy.
No,
No.
Did you want to apply for an
Debe
appointed
aplicar
lawyer?
para que le pongan un nombre de un abogado.
personal, no contrato.
A personal one, I would like to get one.
Gonna go hire a lawyer?
¿Te va a contratar un abogado? Tiene que contestar a vos.
¿Qué quieres hacer? Tú puedes contratar a un abogado o puedes aplicar por uno.
Contratar uno de tu huevo.
I'd like to hire one. I want to hire one.
Okay, we will give you time.
Le damos
I'm
tiempo.
gonna have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive.
Claro que usted no va a manejar.
After that, I will get you,
Eso.
after that, I will get you to Fatima, who will explain to you your bond conditions. And after that, you're free to go.
Y entonces de
Do
ahí
not consume alcohol. Do not drive.
no maneje.
Okay? THA.
Okay. All right, Judge, the next one is page 17, Oriana.
Aquí, señor, yo soy su intérprete. Por favor,
Good morning,
procese.
Mr. Oriana.
Good morning.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
Sir, you're charged of driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Pagar un abogado.
Yeah,
Uno,
good. On January 25th,
el
2025,
25 de enero del 2025,
the officer arrived on scene and made contact with another officer who had been en route to a burglary and observed the defendant's vehicle traveling in the middle of a two-way road. That officer had pulled over to the right as far as possible, slowed down, and the defendant still struck the patrol vehicle on the front left side. The officer stated that the motor vehicle continued to drive, turned into an apartment complex, and the officer pulled up behind the vehicle as it was waiting for the gate to open. The defendant exited the vehicle, and the officer made contact with the defendant. The defendant stated he did not know who he had struck, and the officer observed red glossy eyes, slurred speech, a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage. Standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN, 6 out of 6. Walk and turn, 5 out of 8. One leg stand, 2 out of 4. The defendant read the DIC and considered a breath. The results were .141 and .145.
Mr. Oriana, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds for you.
And there's no license on file, Your Honor.
Right, to be honest.
No priors, Your Honor.
Okay. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, Mr. Oriana, you are not allowed to drive. You will be signing a promise with me today. I hope you take this seriously. This is the only warning that you will get. I don't know what your immigration status in this country is, but if you're not in this country with permission, and you go to jail for any kind of any kind of period of time, it's very possible that immigration finds you, puts a detainer on you, and you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with, and then you will be shipped off to immigration. Do you understand? Do not drive, do not consume alcohol or illegal drugs. Otherwise, it's not going to end well for
No
you.
le va a ir bien a usted.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Tell me, did you want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer?
¿Quiere solicitar un abogado de planta? Yes.
All right, I will give you an
Le voy a dar
application.
una aplicación.
I will take a look at it,
Entonces la
see
miro.
whether you
A
qualify
ver si
for
usted
a.
cualifica para un abogado.
I'm gonna have you come up here, swear to us that you're not gonna drive. I will get you to Victoria where you will sign a reset. You will then get with Fatima for your bond conditions, and after that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box, sir.
This is fine. All right, Judge, next is page 1. Alfaro, come on up.
You can sign your conditions.
What is your last name, sir?
Alfaro.
Page 1.
Okay, you are Ricardo Alfaro. Mr. Alfaro, you are charged with harassing communication. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On August 26, 2022, the officer was dispatched to a harassment call and met with the complainant, who explained she had broken up with the defendant on August 20th after dating 2.5 years. The defendant came to the complainant's parents' home early in the morning of August 21st and began knocking on the door and refused to leave. The defendant got into an altercation with the complainant's brother, and the complainant then went to work, where she received phone calls and text messages. The complainant responded in text asking for the defendant to stop contacting her, and over the next 2 days, the defendant continued to text the complainant asking to just talk. On August 24th, the complainant went to the defendant's apartment to retrieve her belongings, and upon returning to her parents' house, the complainant observed the defendant circle the area. On August 25th, the complainant's father observed the defendant parked down the street in his vehicle. 5 p.m. that day, the complainant's friend observed the defendant had been driving past the complainant's apartment, and the complainant observed the defendant driving around her parents' neighborhood and parked outside for a while before leaving. The defendant then attempted to contact the complainant by phone and text messages, as well as driving to the complainant's place of work, and contacted the complainant's work asking to speak with the complainant. The complainant stated she has received 50 calls and approximately 100 text messages, as well as 15 to 20 calls from some unknown number.
So far, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward into your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case. Do you understand? I don't care what you're doing. I don't care where you're going. I don't care what color you are. If I find that you try to have any kind of contact, I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand? How old are you, sir?
25.
Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir? Okay. Can you file the conditions, no contact and no weapons, please? I'm going to give you an application now. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria, then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. I'm going to find your lawyer. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Do you understand? Okay, please.
Go ahead and sign for your reset. All right, Judge, the next is page 21, Sims.
Good morning, Mr. Sims. Sir, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do a probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 24th, 2025, the officer responded to a minor accident at the 8700 block of Fairbanks North in Houston, Texas, Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the complainant, who stated he was driving his vehicle, was at an intersection, and the defendant was blowing his horn at him to turn, and the complainant could not make a right turn due to the truck being in front of him. The complainant stated once he did turn right on the Fairbanks, he began to drive north in the first lane of traffic, and the defendant drove in the second lane. The defendant began to weave in and out of the lane in an attempt to make the complainant collide with the defendant's vehicle. The complainant stated the defendant made an unsafe lane change, causing him to rear-end the defendant. The defendant began to drive north on Fairbanks Road, brake checked the complainant again, causing him to collide with the defendant's vehicle. The complainant stopped his vehicle, exited, and the defendant did the same, and both began to verbally argue. The defendant accused the complainant of rear-ending his vehicle, and the officer made contact with the defendant, who stated he was driving north when the complainant collided with his vehicle. The defendant stated he noticed the complainant's odd behavior in the rearview mirror when he was struck the second time and had to brake due to heavy traffic. The complainant told the officer that traffic was light, and a witness stated he observed the defendant's vehicle continuously weaving in and out of the complainant's lane while brake checking the complainant.
Behavior.
And that's,
Kind of allegation of alcohol or dope?
no, Your Honor. And that was the statement the defendant made to the officer, that he observed the complainant have odd behavior.
Oh, I see.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sims, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. You were on bond for a very serious felony case of evading a motor vehicle, and now you've picked up a reckless driving. I'm taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I don't give a rat's behind what is going on in this life. If I find that you drive, because I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. It's an offense in and of itself. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you consume alcohol and kind of illegal drugs, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail.
I'm turning 19 next month.
I will appoint you a lawyer today. I'm telling you now, if I find that you drive, and I don't care what the reason is, it's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you mind reaching out to the max? I appoint him a lawyer, please. I'm gonna
Okay.
have you come up here, swear to us that you're not gonna drive. I'm gonna get you to Victoria Center, reset, then you'll get with Fatima for your bond conditions, and then I'll have you take a seat while we find you.
All right, Judge, next is page 21. Smith, come on up.
You're Miss Tamika Smith?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you're charged with, excuse me, terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 24th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a disturbance with a weapon call at an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas. The call slip advised a black female in a red wig possibly had a firearm. The officer observed the defendant matching the description, and the officer made contact with the complainant, who stated she lives in an apartment across from the defendant. The defendant and she had several verbal arguments in the past, and that morning they also had an argument. The defendant began yelling and screaming at the complainant from a parking lot in front of the apartment, and the defendant told the complainant, "I'm going to shoot you, bitch." And the complainant stated the defendant further made threats to shoot the home along with the kids inside after the complainant retreated inside the residence. The complainant was in fear for serious bodily injury or death, and the complainant provided security camera footage where a female voice was heard yelling, "I'll shoot your home," and
And I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
Yes, sir.
Ordering you not to have contact with this person.
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you not to have any possession of any weapons as well.
Yes, sir.
If I find that you violate these conditions, I only have one place. I'm going to revoke your bond.
Understood. Yes, sir.
Would you like a lawyer today, ma'am?
Yes, please.
I'll appoint a lawyer. I'm going to have you sign a receipt, Victoria. We'll have you take your signature box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, please.
Right this way.
So can you file no contact, no weapons?
yes, Judge.
Coming up, Mr.
Judge?
D. Yes, sir.
Judge, this is Mr. Christopher Martinez. I was appointed to represent him on his first case for terrorist threat. It looks like he's picked up another case, Judge.
Really?
Family member.
You now stand charged with assault of a family member. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The complainant and the defendant are in a dating relationship, and on January 25th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to an assault. Upon arrival, the officer met with the complainant, who stated that he and the defendant are dating and that they had recently gotten into an argument earlier that day. The complainant stated that he had thrown some nicotine cartridges on the floor, and that the defendant and him got into a physical altercation but separated. The complainant then made food and brought the defendant a plate of food, but the defendant used it to strike the complainant in the face, causing a laceration above his eye. The complainant then stated that he began to fight back.
Same complaining witness in the terroristic threat.
No, sir, Your Honor, it's not.
No, Your Honor. It does appear that the complaining witness in the recent assault was a witness to the previous terroristic threat, but I'm still not sure of the involvement so far.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I asked you one thing. I asked you not to pick up any new cases. You have done, because you have done this now, I'm going to revoke your bond on your first case, and I'm going to put you in jail right now. Goes with you, officer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. D. 5,001. Yeah. And tell me, did he get a PR bond on that small case?
Was this
Martinez?
Oh, Martinez.
No, he made a surety bond. Okay, so leave that as is. I won't touch the new case, but just the old case, 5,001. Good morning, Ms. McCardle. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On January 25th, 2025, the officer stopped the vehicle for failing to maintain a single lane of traffic at the 3300 block of NASA Parkway. The officer observed the vehicle failed to maintain a single marked lane multiple times, and the vehicle had no license plate. The officer initiated a traffic stop, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle. The officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, slow, delayed speech, and the defendant was asked to exit the vehicle, and the officer performed center field sobriety tests. HGN 6 out of 6. And then the defendant was then transported back to the station to continue testing, where he refused any more testing. The DIC was read and the defendant refused a breath test. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Mr. McCardle, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Any prior DWIs?
No priors, Your Honor, and I'm running a license.
I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond. I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
As long as you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance, you may continue to drive. If you do not have either, then you're not allowed to drive. You've got a great lawyer. Listen to her. She'll take care of you. Because you have her representing you, I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court. But you must stay in touch with her. If she tells you she can't get a hold of you, you pick up a new case. You've seen what happens, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, that
I'm not asking for much. I just want my community safe. That's all. I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. You'll get with Fatima for your bond conditions, and then you guys are free to go.
thanks, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Okoji. Sir, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with assault of a family member. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On both of those cases, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
2024, officer conducted a follow-up investigation on a reported assault from October 27, 2024. Officer made contact with the complainant witness, who stated that the defendant and her were in a dating relationship for 3 years. And on the day of the incident, the defendant grabbed the complainant witness's phone. And when the complainant witness tried to get her phone back, she was struck in the face with a closed fist multiple times, causing pain. The complainant witness positively ID'd the defendant by.
So what about the gun though?
Oh, so excuse me, Judge. The gun was so that was a 2B, and then he got picked
Oh,
up.
it's a different case.
Right. So then it's a new case from the 28th, where he got picked up a felony PCS and a gun.
I see. Okay,
The
so
UCW.
the UCW is connected to the PCS upstairs.
Yes,
Got it.
sir.
All right. So I'm going to find probable cause to go forward on both of your cases, Mr. Okoji. On the assault of a family member, I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? I am entering in what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Ms. Nolasco as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot stalk, threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand?
Sir.
If you violate this, the state can and probably will file a violation of a protective order. That's one of the worst misdemeanor cases you can pick up. Do you understand?
Sir.
All I'm asking you to do is don't pick up any new cases, don't have any contact, don't have any weapons.
Sir.
Now you got a great lawyer. Listen to him. He'll take care of you. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with him. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, you pick up a new case, I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bonds.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go. All right?
Thank you, Judge.
It's
Protection order ready?
254-8575.
85.
I don't know if that's the UCW or if that's the assault.
You want the
So on the assault, I want to grant them up.